Hello and welcome back to KXAN Plus. I'm your host, Esmeralda Zamora, and if you're watching us live, thanks for joining us and happy Monday. But we're here to do our Simple Health segment with our KXAN Simple Health expert, Jose Torres. Jose, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Esme. Thank you again for having me.
Of course, it's always awesome to talk about simple health here on KXAN Plus. But before we move forward, can you please give us a little look at what simple health is and why we do it?
Yeah, so we try to empower you with information and try to gather all and simplify all the information that is out there that can sometimes be too much to comprehend or be too complicated, the research that is out there. And we try to inform you with just make it a little bit more easier to digest and also inform you of the new treatments and new research that is happening here out of Austin, which is pretty awesome to learn about.
And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. There is a new type of procedure for open heart surgery, right?
Yeah, this is pretty awesome news. Typically, open heart surgery is can take a while
A
at the
while.
operating room, and then the recovery time is at least a week at the hospital, and then at home, you're still recovering from that. So it could take a long time to recover from that. Now, the FDA late last year approved this new procedure, and here in Austin, a 75-year-old lady, her name is Lorraine Cook. She
She's
recently,
local.
she's
Yep.
local, she's from Austin, and she's quite a character. She recently went through this procedure. She was afraid of going through open heart surgery because she had that procedure done 10 years ago when she suffered 2 heart attacks.
Wow.
And she was like, I don't want to do that again, doctor. Please don't tell me that's my only option, because she was suffering from a leaky heart valve. And so when they told her that, her mind automatically went to that bad experience that she had after open heart surgery.
Reliving all of that all over again.
Yeah, very traumatic. And so with this new procedure, the recovery time is way shorter and less invasive.
Wow.
And Baylor Scott and White out in Round Rock was the first in the Austin area to perform this, and I did a little story about it. Take a look.
Let's listen to it. We have it here.
Well, I've had 2 heart attacks. One, they took the vein out of my left leg to fix the valve up there. And then the other one that I had was open heart, where they cracked me open. I was begging God to just take me on. That was real bad. But he didn't.
And we're very excited to be the first ones in this region to be able to have the technology for our patients. The procedure itself, it can take as short as 30 minutes and as long as 4 hours, depending on the patient anatomy. Many patients tolerated having a valve, this leaky valve, for a long time, but eventually what will happen is that the heart becomes inefficient and it starts to fail.
It got where I couldn't make it from one side of a room to the other without just really huffing and puffing.
For the longest time, tricuspid regurgitation used to only be able to be treated with medicines. And for us cardiologists, we often call this valve the forgotten valve because we didn't have any good therapies for it.
I'm in no pain at all, and I haven't been in any pain. So with my heart, it's great.
Jose, what did Lorraine say about getting that surgery? What was her experience like?
She was very grateful because it was nothing like what she experienced 10 years ago.
I bet.
And she said she went out shopping
Aw.
shortly after, like not right away after the procedure.
After
but
recovering.
Yeah. But the recovery was way shorter than that she experienced before. So she jokingly said, "I went shopping right away."
New clothes, new shoes.
Yeah, new heart valve, right? So she also said that during this interview, she kept saying how she would recommend this for anyone, and if she had to, repair those heart valves again, that she would do it right away because
Wow.
that's how much she enjoyed it, and she wouldn't mind doing it again. And she highly recommends it to anyone that is dealing with with a leaky heart valve, and that may be afraid of open heart surgery or things like that.
Wow. Well, it sounds like her process or the procedure was pretty easy peasy for her. What goes into this type of procedure? What are the steps preparing for it afterwards? Tell me all about it.
So there's a team of doctors, cardiologists, and from what I understand is they go through they stick a little camera inside your throat, and the doctors then monitor that in the operating room, and then they also have a little catheter that goes through your groin, which I think this is so amazing. They make a little small incision through your groin, and then they just carry that up all the way until they reached your
wow.
heart, and then they release the the clip of that. But I'm not doing it justice. Here's how the doctor, Dr. Condado, explains it.
So once we put the valve in the position and we like where we are, we can open these anchors that go on the inside of the ventricle. Using echo and x-ray, we can make sure that the anchors are in the correct place on this size of the leaflets. Then we can do some very careful movements, and once we're satisfied with the position, we're gonna release the tension and allow the valve to expand and open into shape. And the valve will stay in place because it uses the anchors to grab the valve on this side and keep it attached like a sandwich. So now we have a valve that is nicely anchored, is well positioned, and it used to leak before, but not anymore, because now inside here, as we're gonna see on the next picture, we're gonna have a fully functioning valve that is opening and closing.
A fully functioning valve opening and closing, how he said it. That was such an easy explanation from the doctor, but I'm sure it takes a lot more work to do that. Are there any risks? It seems like Lorraine had a pretty smooth ride with it, but are there possibilities to any risks?
Yes, Dr. Condado said that bleeding, internal bleeding, might be a risk for where they are poking around there to help clamp up that leaky valve. So the risk is internal bleeding, and then that may cause them to place a pacemaker, because depending on the complication, that pacemaker may be needed, because if the valve is there's that internal bleeding, it can compress the electrical system. So I'm just reading the notes here. Can it compress the electrical system of the heart, with, again, needing the result of that pacemaker. So there are some risks involved, just like with any other medical procedure.
Yeah, of course. Do we know if any insurance covers this? What are the pricings for this type of surgery?
The good news is that since the FDA approved this late last year, insurance companies do cover this. As far as the cost goes, it varies on your insurance plan and the insurer. And also, if you're, maybe there's, depending on your insurance, if you're worried about paying this out, there is some financial assistance.
Payment plans, something like that?
You just have to ask around, depending on the hospital system you are working with, and, try to get that information.
So Lorraine was suffering from, what was it again?
Leaky
heart, right?
Yeah, leaky heart valve. There's a name for it.
I'm sure there's a medical term for it. But my question is, what were the symptoms that she realized she had when she got diagnosed with that leaky heart valve situation?
Tiredness, a lot of fatigue, swollen legs. Let me pull these up here because it's very important to note.
Yeah.
Extreme tiredness, shortness of breath with activity. So just a simple walk may cause you to feel like you're losing your breath. Feelings of a rapid or pounding heartbeat, swelling in the belly, legs, or the neck veins. So the health experts, cardiologists, they recommend that book an appointment for a checkup if you get tired easily, if you feel short of breath, with any type of activity you do, maybe if it's just walking around the house, or if it's just getting up of the getting
Or
out of the
gardening
couch.
outside, if you can't do that, like you should call right away, right?
Yeah, so the thing is, listen to your body, and that is something that we've learned here through some of these stories we've done here with Simple Health, is to listen to your body.
And now, if somebody is not listening to their body, what could happen to them if they go untreated?
They're basically their quality of life. It doesn't look so good. The short answer is that it could eventually lead up to death because those symptoms that I mentioned, the tiredness, the swelling, all of that just gets worse because there's not enough blood flow, and you need that blood flow to
Circulation, move around.
yeah, and so it could create more complications if you leave it untreated, and you don't want to do that, and especially you don't want an early death because of it. So yeah, listen to your body, go to that cardiologist, and ask a lot of questions, and it may not even be that; it could be something else,
Yeah,
or
you never know until you
never
ask,
know.
right?
Yeah.
And especially when you're talking about stuff with your heart, like you don't want to leave that untreated, right? You want to make sure that you're up to date with the amount of health that your heart is in, right? You want to know how healthy you are?
Right. I was training for a marathon a few years ago, and I wasn't properly hydrated. And then after I finished like a long 18-mile run, my heart was racing. Obviously, I just finished 18 miles.
Yeah.
But I thought I was, because I had a stroke previously. And so I thought, oh no, my heart's giving me some kind of problems, or, I had this headache that would not go away. So I booked an appointment with my cardiologist, and everything was fine. It just turns out that I wasn't properly hydrated. So
Dehydration, headaches, those are the worst.
yeah, so sometimes it's good to be overly cautious and just rule something out, just to clear your mind and be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, Jose, my next question was gonna be, how is the recovery? But I could see that Lorraine wanted to go shopping right away, so it must be easy, right?
Yeah, it must be, excuse me, easier. Definitely with open heart surgery, they put you in ICU right after. And then depending on how that goes, you might stay there longer, depending on how your body recovers or is adapting to the procedure, the treatment. After that, then they move you to a regular room, which your stay there could be 3 days, 7 days, again, depending on how your body
is responding, right?
Yeah. And with this non-invasive treatment, this non-surgical treatment, you don't have to stay for days at the hospital. And like Lorraine, you could go shopping. Yeah, yeah.
Go buy some new clothes.
Yeah, right.
That's nice. So it's a pretty smooth ride, you would say, smooth procedure. So what is next for Lorraine? How is she doing right now?
So Lorraine had to get two of her heart valves looked at. And so she had one in early March or somewhere in March. And then she had one, her second one done in the summer. And then the second experience obviously was she didn't have any hesitation because based on her first procedure, it went very, very well. And Dr. Condado told me that the procedure takes it could take like 30 minutes up to 4 hours, depending on the body. But so, yeah, once you're in the operating table, it could be as short as 30 minutes or 4 hours.
Nice.
So, yeah, even shorter than open heart surgery.
So it just kind of depends on you, your body, and how you are in your diagnosis or what steps you're in there. Jose, you wrote an article talking all about it on our website, KXAN.com. Tell us what we can find in this article.
Yeah, so we have a link to Baylor Scott and White's frequently asked questions page about this procedure. Also have a link there to the device that was used, so you can learn more about it. And then we have a slideshow there of Lorraine, and Lorraine is such a character.
She's such a diva. Look at her.
And she's so resilient. And you can get to watch her story. And then one thing I wanted to point out that Dr. Condado said is that, let me find my notes here. For the longest time, this leaky heart
Procedure
issue,
or each issue, yeah.
also known as tricuspid regulation. I know I butchered that. But it used to be only treated with medicines. And so for cardiologists, Dr. Condado said that they often call this specific, there's four valves in your heart. So for this specific one, they called it the forgotten valve because they didn't have any very good therapies for it. They only had medicine. So today they finally
Have a procedure.
have a procedure that's not
Non-invasive, right?
that is non-invasive, and so many patients who tolerated having this leaky valve at this specific heart valve for a long time, they had to endure all these complications, and so eventually the heart becomes inefficient and starts to fail, and there's a lot of swelling again, and swelling in your abdomen, and potentially liver damage, and again potentially early death. So they're really excited about this new non-invasive, again, treatment. And also it's not for everyone. It's mainly geared for people who are at risk for having complications of open heart surgery. So people like Lorraine, who is 75. This is
and has already had open heart surgery.
right.
Yeah.
So this is non-invasive, and again, it starts with a small incision in your groin, and then they draw up this catheter. And it's just so amazing to me how technology,
How they can get through the body in just these weird ways. Or
Yeah.
I would not have even thought that's how the procedure was done until you said that. That's crazy. It's mind blowing.
it is.
Well, it's awesome that we are developing new strategies to fight different diseases or different illnesses, and having someone from Austin here being one of the first ones to receive the procedure is amazing. Again, Jose and anyone watching, that article is going to be on our website, KXAN.com, if anyone is interested in reading up on Lorraine's story and more on the procedure. I know you added some links as there as well, right?
Yeah. So I hope this story offers hope, because I know when you get that any kind of diagnosis, you know, your mind just starts to go in different directions. And I hope this story brings hope to not only individuals facing this kind of issue, but for family members who might have a family member who is dealing with leaky heart valve or anything like that. There is always hope thanks to technology.
Yes, new technology, always evolving. Thank you so much for joining me, Jose, and we will see you next week. It never